And this is one of those hidden metrics that catches so many qualified people completely off guard.
Oh, wait. Are you saying the receptionist is judging me?
I'm saying the receptionist is often part of the hiring committee.
Okay, I want you to picture a scenario. And I'm warning you, this is going to hurt a little bit because I think we have all been there.
Oh boy. Okay, lay it on me.
So you've got a job interview. And not just any interview. This is the interview. You've been prepping for like a month. You've memorized the company's mission statement. You know their Q3 earnings better than the CEO. You bought a new suit. It actually fits. You go in there, you sit down, and you just absolutely crush the technical questions.
I mean, 100%.
You know your stuff cold.
It's the dream scenario. You walk out of that building just floating on air. You're already picking out which desk you want.
Exactly. You're thinking, when do I start? And then maybe 3 days later, the email hits your inbox. And it says, thank you for your time, but we've decided to move forward with a candidate who is a better fit.
The fit feedback. That is just the black box of corporate rejection.
It is maddening. You're just sitting there screaming at your phone. What does it even mean? I was perfect on paper. It feels like you're being gaslit, you know? Because the feedback has nothing to do with your actual ability to do the work.
It feels that way because, well, in a very real sense, you are being tested on something invisible. You passed the visible test, the technical competence,
Right.
but you failed the invisible one. And that invisible test is basically, can you do this job in a way that aligns with the unspoken rules of American professional culture?
And that is exactly what we're unpacking today. We've pulled together this massive stack of HR insider guides, psychology papers, corporate playbooks, all of it, to do a deep dive into what we're calling the hidden interview, because the data is pretty clear.
Yeah.
An interview isn't just a skills exam, it is a performance.
It is. It's a full performance of cultural compatibility. And the scary part, or I guess the exciting part, depending on how you look at it, is that this performance starts way before you even sit in the chair, and it ends way after you've left the building.
So our mission today is to decode that invisible layer. We're going to walk through the entire timeline, from the moment you park your car to that follow-up email, so that you never have to see that vague fit rejection ever again.
I love it. Let's decode it.
All right, let's rewind the tape before the questions, before the handshake, where the pre-interview phase. And honestly, looking at the notes here, this seems to be where the anxiety just spikes for people, specifically the timing.
Ah, yes, the on-time trap.
Okay, so help me out here. In my head, if I really want this job, I'm showing up maybe 20 minutes early. I'm parked, I'm in the lobby, I'm ready. That shows I'm eager, I'm responsible, proactive, right?
You would think so. It's logical, right? But in the context of a modern American corporate interview, showing up 20 minutes early it's actually a strike against you.
Seriously?
Huh.
How is being early a bad thing? I thought early is on time.
Well, you have to empathize with the interviewer for a second. Just put yourself in their shoes. They're probably back-to-back with meetings. They're frantic. If you check in at the front desk 20 minutes early, that receptionist pings the hiring manager. Your 2.0 p.m. is here.
And now they feel guilty.
Exactly. They're trying to eat a sandwich at their desk or finish a report, and now they feel this psychological pressure that there's a stranger waiting for them downstairs. It creates a subtle annoyance before they've even met you. You become a burden, not a guest.
That is so interesting. So you're disrupting their flow, but, I mean, obviously being late is a death sentence.
Oh, absolutely. Late just says, I don't respect your time. That's a non-starter.
So what's the Goldilocks zone here? What's the magic number?
The consensus, really across almost every industry, is pretty consistent.
What?
5 to 10 minutes. That is the American definition of on time for an interview. It shows you can manage your schedule perfectly without infringing on theirs.
5 to 10 minutes. Got it. Okay, so we've nailed the arrival. We walk into the building. We check in. Now we have that awkward 5 minutes sitting in the lobby. I assume this is just dead time, right? Time to check Instagram, fix my tie, text my partner that I'm nervous.
Absolutely not. This is where the lobby test begins. And this is one of those hidden metrics that catches so many qualified people completely off guard.
Oh, wait. Are you saying the receptionist is judging me?
I'm saying the receptionist is often part of the hiring committee. I mean, there are countless stories, we saw them in the research, of hiring managers walking out to the front desk after the candidate leaves and asking, so, what did you think?
No way. That feels like entrapment.
It's not entrapment, it's a character test. If you are dismissive, if you didn't make eye contact, if you are rude to the security guard, that gets reported. I have seen highly qualified candidates get rejected specifically because they treated the staff like they were furniture.
That's wild. It's like the waiter rule on a first date. If they're nice to you but mean to the waiter, you run away.
Precisely. It tests hierarchy and empathy. The rule is, you are on the second you enter that building. Be warm, be polite, put the phone away, and just look observant. Look like someone who's happy to be there.
Okay, so no doom scrolling in the lobby. The hiring manager comes out. It's showtime. Handshake time.
The physical requirement.
I feel like there's so much weird macho energy around handshakes in the U.S. Like, is it a power struggle? Am I supposed to crush their hand to show dominance or something?
Please don't do that. No, it shouldn't be a wrestling match. But you have to understand, in the U.S., a weak handshake is judged, well, disproportionately harshly. It's seen as a lack of confidence or low energy. The dreaded dead fish.
The dead fish. Nobody wants that.
But you don't want the bone crusher either. The goal is parity. Firm grip, web to web, 2 pumps make eye contact. Boom, you've passed the physical gatekeeper.
Okay, so we're walking back to the office now. This is that long, agonizing walk down the hallway where the silence can get really weird. And the interviewer asks something like, "Did you find the place okay?" Or, "How about this rain?"
The small talk phase.
Now, I'm going to play devil's advocate here. Let's say I'm an engineer or a data analyst. I'm there to code, not to host a talk show. Why does it matter if I can chat about traffic? Isn't this just polite filler before the real work starts?
That is the dangerous misconception. It is never just filler. This 2 to 5 minute window is a very specific assessment of unstructured social interaction.
That sounds terrifyingly clinical. Unstructured social interaction.
It basically asks, is this person going to be exhausting to sit next to for 40 hours a week?
Can I make coffee next to this person without it being weird?
Exactly that. American work culture values a specific type of casual warmth, the likability factor. If you treat small talk as just an inefficient barrier to get to the real questions, you're signaling that you don't get the social fabric of the office. You're signaling, I am strictly transactional.
Okay, let's test this.
Yeah.
I want to see what a fail looks like. Because I think a lot of people fail this without even knowing it. They think they're being professional.
Let's do it. I'm the interviewer. We're walking down the hall.
So thanks for coming in. Did you have any trouble finding the office? The construction out front is a nightmare.
No, it was fine. I have my resume right here.
Oof. Okay, stop. I felt the temperature drop 10 degrees.
But I was being efficient. I wanted to respect your time. I answered your question.
You answered the data point, but you failed the social test. You completely shut down the human connection. I offered a social bridge, complaining about the construction, and you just slapped it away to talk about business. That signals you might be, well, rigid or difficult to connect with.
So efficiency is the enemy here. Connection is the goal.
Right. You need to return the volley. Let's try it the right way.
Okay, hit me again.
Did you have any trouble finding the office? The construction out front is a nightmare.
Oh, tell me about it. I saw that on the GPS, so I left about 15 minutes early just to be safe.
Yeah.
But actually, once I got past Main Street, it was smooth sailing. Is it usually this backed up on Tuesdays?
Boom. Perfect.
Okay, so let's break that down. What did I do differently there? 3 things. 1, you validated my complaint. Tell me about it. You joined me in the feeling. 2, you dropped a subtle competency signal. I left early, meaning you're responsible. And 3, most importantly, you threw the ball back to me with a question. Is it usually this busy?
It turned it into a conversation, not an interrogation.
Exactly. Now we're 2 humans talking, not just a boss and a subordinate. That builds rapport before you even sit down. And trust me, people hire people they like.
Okay, so we've survived the hallway. We've been human. We're in the room. We're sitting down. Now comes the meat of the interview. And looking at our source material, American interviews are just dominated by one specific style of question.
The behavioral question. Tell me about a time.
Tell me about a time you missed a deadline. Tell me about a time you had a conflict. Why are they so obsessed with the past? Why not ask me what I would do?
The psychology is simple. Past behavior predicts future behavior. They don't really care about what you think you would do in some hypothetical perfect world. I mean, everyone's a superhero in their imagination. They want to know what you actually did when things got messy.
And this is where people ramble, right? I feel like I've done this.
Yeah.
You start telling a story and suddenly you're 5 minutes in and you haven't even gotten to the point.
Yes. They get lost in the weeds. They start telling the history of the project, who sat where, what the weather was like. You need a framework. You need STAR.
STAR. Let's walk through this because I feel like everyone kind of knows the acronym,
Yeah.
but very few people execute it well.
Agreed. Situation, task, action, result. But here's the secret sauce that most people miss. The waiting.
The waiting.
Yes. Most candidates spend like 50% of their answer on the situation. Well, the project was in Q4, and the client was difficult, and my boss was away, and we had this software. Just stop.
So keep it brief.
Think 10% of your answer. Just give me the context. We were behind schedule on a major launch. That's it. That's the situation and task.
Okay. Then comes action.
This is the most critical part. This should be 60% of your answer, and this is where the whole we versus I trap happens.
Oh, I do this. I always say we. We decided to change the strategy. It feels polite. It feels humble.
It is polite, and it will lose you the job.
Really?
If you say we, I have no idea what you did. Did you lead the meeting, or did you just sit in the back and eat a bagel? You have to get comfortable saying I analyzed the data, I proposed the new timeline, I sat down with the client.
It feels arrogant, but I guess it's necessary clarity.
It's not arrogance, it's attribution. They're hiring you, not your team.
And finally, R for result.
The landing, what happened. And Americans love data. Don't just say it went well.
Say sales went up 10%.
Exactly. Let's role play a bad version of this because I want to hear the fluff answer that gets people rejected.
Okay. Ask me about conflict. That's a classic one.
Tell me about a time you had a disagreement with a coworker.
Well, I'm a big believer in open communication. I think conflict usually comes from misunderstanding. So whenever I have an issue, I just try to be a good listener and make sure we're all on the same page because, teamwork is really important to me and I don't like drama.
Okay. It sounds nice. It sounds like you're a nice person.
Right.
It's total fluff. You told me your philosophy. You told me what you believe. You didn't tell me what you did. I have zero evidence that you can actually handle a shouting match or a passive-aggressive email.
I failed the past behavior test.
You did. Now, give me the star version.
Yeah.
A real story.
Okay. Let me try. Situation. Last quarter, a designer and I disagreed on the layout for a rush project. Task. We had to finalize it in 24 hours or we'd miss the print deadline. Action. I set up a private meeting, just the two of us, and asked him to explain his vision first to, lower the tension. Then I showed him user data, proving my layout converted better, but I suggested we use his color palette to keep the branding consistent. Result. We merged the ideas, hit the deadline, and that page actually had the highest click-through rate of the year.
Do you hear the difference?
It feels heavier, like it has actual weight to it.
Struggle, action, victory. It's a narrative arc. Humans are wired for stories, and if you can turn your skills into a little story with a beginning, middle, and end, you become memorable.
Okay, so prep your stories. Have a conflict story, a failure story, a success story.
Exactly. Map them out.
Speaking of stories, there's some questions that just feel like they're designed to trip you up. The psychological traps.
The trap questions.
The biggest one being, what is your biggest weakness?
Everyone hates this question.
And I feel like everyone lies. Oh, I'm just a perfectionist. I care too much. I work too hard.
The humble brag. Please, for the love of everything, stop doing this. Interviewers roll their eyes so hard it hurts.
It feels fake because it is fake.
It insults their intelligence. They are asking this to test your self-awareness. Do you know where you suck? And do you have a plan to fix it?
So what's the formula? Because I can't say I'm lazy and I steal staples.
No, don't say that. The formula is real weakness plus self-correction.
Give me an example.
Okay, try this. I sometimes struggle with delegation. I tend to want to double-check every detail myself because I want it done right. But I realized this slows the team down. So lately, I've been using project management software to set clearer checks at the start so I can step back and trust the process more.
That is brilliant. You admitted a real flaw in micromanaging, but you immediately showed you're coaching yourself out of it.
Exactly. It shows you're an adult who grows. That is way more attractive than a fake perfectionist.
Then there's the ambition trap.
Yeah.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
This one tests alignment. The wrong answer is running my own business.
Because that just means I'm quitting in 2 years to become your competitor.
Right. But, I don't know, makes you look aimless. You want to frame your growth within their ecosystem. I want to have mastered this role and be mentoring junior analysts.
Safe, ambitious, but aligned.
Exactly.
Okay, we're in the final stretch. The interview is winding down. The interviewer closes their notebook. They look at you and ask, so, do you have any questions for us?
The final test.
And the temptation, because you're sweating and you just want to leave, is to say, no, I think you covered everything.
If you say, no, you covered everything, you have just failed the interview.
That harsh. Even if they did cover everything.
Yes. It signals disinterest. It suggests you haven't thought deeply about the role or the company. It's a massive red flag.
Okay, so you must ask questions,
Hmm.
but not dumb questions.
Correct. Don't ask about salary yet. That's transactional. You save it for the offer. Don't ask, so what does your company do? You should know that.
So what's the power move here? What's the question that makes them go, wow?
You turn the interview into a strategy session. You ask questions that visualize you already in the role.
Like what?
What does success look like in this position in the first 6 months?
Ooh, I like that.
Or, what is the biggest challenge the team is currently facing that you'd want me to tackle first?
That's clever. Because now you're not a candidate asking for a job. You're a consultant asking about the problem.
Exactly. You're already working there in their minds. You're solving problems before you're even on the payroll.
Okay, so you ask your smart strategy questions.
Yeah.
You do the firm handshake again.
Okay.
You smile at the receptionist on the way out. Are we done? Can I go take a nap now?
You are absolutely not done. There's one non-negotiable left.
The thank you note.
The thank you note.
Does this really still matter? It feels so 1990s. Do I need to buy a stamp?
It matters immensely. Our sources call this the tiebreaker. If I have two candidates with equal skills and one sends a thoughtful note and the other doesn't, I'm hiring the note writer every single time.
Is it about gratitude? Or is it about something else?
It's about follow-through. It shows you're organized, you're polite, and you close the loop.
And this needs to be an email, right? Not a quill and parchment letter sent by owl.
Email is fine. Speed matters. Send it within 24 hours. And don't just say thanks for the job.
Personalize it.
I really enjoyed discussing the Q4 marketing challenge. You have to prove you were listening. It reinforces that connection we built during small talk.
You know, when we lay it all out like this, from the lobby etiquette to the STAR method to the thank you note, it really shifts the whole perspective.
It does.
I think the big realization for me is that the hidden interview isn't about being fake. It's not about acting like someone you're not.
No, it's about translation.
Translation.
Think about it. You have the skills. That's your native language. The hidden interview is just translating those skills into a format that the American workplace understands and trusts. It's about signaling. I am safe, I am competent, and I am self-aware.
That makes so much sense. Cultural fit isn't about being a clone. It's about being fluent in that social language.
Exactly.
So the next time you walk into that lobby,
Remember, the receptionist is the first interviewer.
and remember that your small talk is a social IQ test.
And for the love of God, send the thank you email.
Send the email. Thanks for deep diving with us today. Hopefully the next time you hear fit, it's because you were the perfect one.
Good luck out there.
See you next time.